All right, let's talk about this really groundbreaking new study on how AI is actually changing high-skilled work. And I mean actually changing it. We're way past hypotheticals now. We're talking about real-world data on what happens when you put some of the most powerful AI into the hands of absolute pros.
So the setup was pretty simple, but totally brilliant. Researchers took 758 top-tier consultants from Boston Consulting Group and just gave them GPT-4. The whole point was to see what happens when you hand over one of the most powerful AI tools to some of the sharpest minds in business and have them work on stuff they'd actually do day to day.
And the first set of results? They were absolutely mind-blowing. So let's start with the good news, because when AI is used on the right type of task, man, it is nothing short of a superpower.
Okay, first up, on a realistic, creative task, the consultants who are using AI, they completed over 12% more work than their colleagues. It's not simple. They just got more done. And it wasn't just that they did more. They also worked way faster. We're talking finishing their tasks more than 25% quicker. I mean, that is a massive jump in productivity.
But here's the real kicker. This is the part that really blew me away. It wasn't just about being faster or doing more. The actual quality of their work, which was judged by human experts, was a staggering 40% higher. Just think about that for a second. Not just faster, but substantially better.
Okay, but this is exactly where the story takes this fascinating, totally unexpected turn. After seeing these incredible gains, the researchers started to wonder, what are the limits here? And what they found is a really important warning for all of us. So they designed a second experiment. This time, the task was different. It was specifically built to be just a little bit outside of the AI's comfort zone, to really test the boundaries of where this human-AI partnership shines and, well, where it totally fails.
And the results just completely flipped on their head. On this new task, the consultants using AI were actually 19 percentage points less likely to get the right answer than the people who had no AI at all. Let me say that again. Using the AI literally made them perform worse. So what on earth is going on here? Well, the researchers gave it a name. They call it the Jagged technological frontier. The idea is that AI's ability isn't this smooth, predictable curve. It's jagged. It can be superhuman at one thing and then fall flat on its face doing something else that, to us, seems just as hard.
To really get this, we've got to look at the two different tasks these consultants were given. Because the type of work they were doing, well, that explains everything.
And this slide really breaks down the why. The first task, designing a new shoe, was all about creativity, brainstorming, stuff GPT-4 is amazing at. That's what they call inside the frontier. But that second task, it was all about putting together conflicting data, noticing subtle little details the AI just couldn't see. And that's why it led people down the wrong path. That work was just outside the frontier.
There's another really cool layer to this. Back on that first task, the one inside the frontier, the AI turned out to be a great equalizer. So yeah, the top performers got a nice 17% boost in quality, which is great. But the people who started out with lower scores, their work improved by a massive 43%. It basically closed the skills gap.
So the big takeaway here is that using AI well isn't about just blindly trusting the machine. It's about knowing where that jagged edge is and knowing how to navigate it. And the study found two very different winning strategies that the successful pros were using.
The researchers gave them these cool, mythical names. First, you've got the Centaur. This is someone who strategically splits up the work. The human does the hard analysis, then the AI drafts the report. Then, you've got the Cyborg, who's deeply integrated with the AI, working in this constant loop of questioning, refining, and basically co-creating with the tool. And get this, it was this cyborgs who actually succeeded on that really tough outside-the-frontier task. They didn't just take the AI's first answer and run with it. No way. They challenged it. They would tell it to act like a consultant, they would disagree with its conclusions, demand explanations. They treated it less like some perfect oracle and more like a real, and sometimes kind of flawed, collaborator.
So what does this all mean for the future of knowledge work? Well, it means the very definition of a valuable skill is changing, like right now, in front of our eyes.
As the study itself concludes, the most important skill isn't just doing the task anymore, it's having the expertise to know when a task is inside the AI's frontier, and then knowing how to best work with the AI to get it done right. It all comes down to judgment.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. AI is not some magic button you can just press to get perfect answers. It's an incredibly powerful, but also flawed collaborator. And in this new world, your value, your real worth, comes from your judgment. that uniquely human ability to see the jagged frontier and choose the right strategy, whether you're a Centaur or a Cyborg, to get across it.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. The most valuable skill going forward isn't execution, it's navigation. So as you start to master this new landscape, the real question isn't if you'll use AI, but how. So, which one are you going to be? A Centaur or a Cyborg?